What's up, guys? My name is Genesis. Thanks for joining us for Kid Point Online. This month, we are talking about faith, believing what Jesus said and did. For week 4, we head to Hebrews 10 and discover something about the importance of meeting with other followers of Jesus. The writer of this passage wanted to remind the early believers that Jesus is more important than anyone or anything else, ever. The writer challenged the believers to hold onto their faith in Jesus, to keep meeting together, and to encourage others in the church to do the same. Bottom line, our faith is stronger together. Before we jump into our story, it's time to worship. So everyone stand up on your feet and let's get ready to praise Jesus.
Got a mountain, it's in your way. You wanna move it, it wants to stay. You need the power that comes from faith. We're talking sickness, poverty, any problem has got to flee with the power that comes from faith. Alright, help me out. Give me an F. Give me an F. Come on, you need the power that comes from it will always work for you. The blood of Jesus guarantees it's true. We're talking power that comes from faith. Yeah, give me an F. Come on, give me an F. You need the power that comes from
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the book of Hebrews, a letter written to early believers in Jesus.
But before Hebrews, way back in the very beginning, out of a deep, deep love, God made an amazing world.
But when people turned away from God, the world was broken. God made a plan to draw people back into relationship. So, at the right time, God sent Jesus, God's very own Son, to live among us.
Jesus gave up his life and was killed. But on the third day, he rose to life.
After Jesus returned to heaven, the early church grew quickly.
But some believers became confused or distracted and started to forget their faith in Jesus.
Which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Erica.
Hey, Erica.
The book of Hebrews is a letter written to Jewish believers in Jesus, likely by a friend or follower of the Apostle Paul. The writer wants to remind these believers that Jesus is more important than anyone or anything else, ever. He challenges them to hold on to their faith in Jesus and to encourage others in the church to do the same. Chapter 10 says this:
Let us hold firmly to the hope we claim to have. The God who promised is faithful.
Our hope is in Jesus, who made a way for us to live forever with God. But like the Hebrew believers, it is so easy to get distracted from that hope. We hear constant messages telling us that hope is found in buying more stuff, in doing more activities, in zoning out from our problems. So in the midst of all this, how do we stay focused on our true hope? Hebrews continues.
Let us consider how we can stir up one another to love. Let us help one another to do good works.
One way to hold on to our hope in Jesus is by acting on it. We can encourage each other to show God's love to the world around us. Rather than just telling our friends to do good things, we can encourage them by living it out ourselves. So what do love and good works look like? One way to put love into action is to put others first, whether it's first in line or letting your friend choose the game you play together. Another way to show God's love is by sharing what you have. It could be sharing your lunch, choosing to give away some of your toys, volunteering your time to help someone out. And you can definitely encourage others with your words. Instead of complaining or grumbling, choose to speak words that comfort someone. Remind others that God is always with them and that God gives us the strength to do hard things. Now, let's wrap up our verse from Hebrews.
And let us not give up meeting together. Some are in the habit of doing this. Instead, let us encourage one another with words of hope. Let us do this even more as you see Christ's return approaching.
Let's be real. Even though texting someone is great, it's just not the same as spending time with them in person. We need each other. One way to meet together is at church. It doesn't matter whether your church meets in a building or a storefront or even outside. It's the people who matter. Maybe it's been a long week and it would be easier to skip church altogether. You can tell your grown-ups you'd really like a chance to hang out with your friends at church. Another way to meet up together is to spend time with your small group or class, even outside of church. If you've got a game or a performance, you can invite your small group leader and friends from church, or go to their events to cheer them on. And you can meet together just by hanging out with friends who love Jesus. Let's see those verses again.
Let us hold firmly to the hope we claim to have. The God who promised is faithful. Let us consider how we can stir up one another to love. Let us help one another to do good works. And let us not give up meeting together. Some are in the habit of doing this. Instead, let us encourage one another with words of hope. Let us do this even more as you see Christ's return approaching.
At the end of time, Jesus will return, and God will make right everything that's wrong. Only God knows when that will be. But in the meantime, we have an amazing opportunity to encourage each other to stay strong in our faith in Jesus and to show God's love to the world. The end.
So church isn't just for learning stuff about God?
It's also about the people we meet and helping each other be strong.
Exactly, because our faith is stronger together.
So, what's our part in the story?
Sometimes it's tempting to be a loner. You don't feel like you fit in, even at church. Or you've got sports on Sunday and it's hard to keep up with your church friends.
Or it seems like none of your close friends care about following Jesus.
Don't give up. Ask God to help you find at least a few friends who love Jesus and can encourage you.
And if you feel like you're an outsider at your church, you're probably not the only one. See what happens if you start up a conversation with someone new in your small group.
Or invite kids from your church to your birthday party.
No matter what, you can choose to live out God's love.
And encourage those around you to do the same.
I think you got it. See you next time.
Bye, Erica.